This is CNA Broadcasting Network, and we are happy to have you on our platform today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Good. Today we're going to go strictly to the church and the state. You know, we have a lot of things in our hands, and what we are about to see happening 2023. But we have to start somewhere. Okay. First of all, my name is Hanson Don. Yeah, shortcut, and some people call me Hanson and Donor. And I'm glad to have you in our platform today.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Hanson. I'm glad to be here. Again, I said thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, let's go to. I have a lot of questions here, and I want to start from 1 to 7. I hope you don't mind.
That's all right. I'm free. I'm glad that I can come, and I hope I'll be able to answer all of your questions.
By God's grace.
Thank you.
At least, if you answer most of our questions, at least we have something, tangible to present to the people of Liberia, and at least know exactly where we're going from here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So let's start from this. How is the Church of Liberia relationship in the government?
Well, that question is general though, but to be specific, I don't think that the church and the state are presently having any confrontation. And I don't think the church and the state should have any confrontation. I believe the church and the state are two separable but also inseparable groups. Because the church and the state, for me, the church gave birth to the state. In the context of Liberia, the church gave birth to the state. And the church is the conscience of the state, of the society. And the state consists of both the church and the citizenry. So the state has a responsibility to its people, while the church has a responsibility to both its members and the state. So for now in Liberia, I think relatively we're enjoying, this is one of the most friendly government we've had in recent times, that is more church friendly. And I think from my perspective, I think we're doing good.
Yeah. Most of us, we are seeing exactly what is happening. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of, people talking here and there and stuff like that, but actually, we know what is happening, and we really want to thank the president anyway, because I personally, I'm seeing a lot of things going on, and it's really worth commending. As a matter of fact, I see what the president is trying to put in place. Without too much noise, one can really tell that government is doing something reasonable. Yeah.
Well, you see, Liberia is a strange country. So sometimes we allow the political heart to overcrowd the reality of life. Okay. But politics is participating in the civil administration of any given people to help the people manage their needs, to meet their social needs. But that person will have the ability to guide and direct the people in their social life and manage their resources for the peaceful coexistence. Okay. And so any leader who lacks the ability to guide, to direct, influence, and manage resources, you can put a question to it. Okay. Not just knowing this present leadership. And I think for the short time they have been, they asked me personally, I think the president has the ability to guide, to lead, and he's influencing society. It may not be 100% good, but so far where we've come, comparing with many years, I think he's at his work.
Yeah, I did a kind of a survey recently. I was on a motorbike. Yeah. When I'm on motorbike, I try to throw some questions. Who are you voting for this year? Are you voting for 2023? I discovered that out of 100%, I discovered that 76.99. Yeah. I always say, but the men try.
Okay.
But the men try.
Yeah.
The men try. But me, at least, the men try. I'll vote for him. Stuff like that. So, I use it as a yardstick. To be able to, combine one or two things and say, okay, let me see what is going to happen. Yeah. But actually, he is trying. He's doing his best. Okay, let me go to question number 2. Yeah. Now, what is the church position on the court case and the government role? Yeah.
Okay. Well, as a pastor, let me tell you true. I don't like to delve much in what we're doing. the opposition, in any country there is an opposition. And every opposition comes in with an intent to upset the ruling party. And I think the incumbent is cognizant of that. And so the incumbent is doing everything to regain the confidence of his people for 2023. And then the opposition in its own camp form a coalition to make sure they become strong to be a formidable group and candidate. But the court case that President, I don't think personally the government is involved. Now, in any political setting, if you want to fight me, I'm the incumbent, and your house is disarrayed, your house is disorganized, it brings political dividends to me. I'm glad. Now, I'm not judging the president thought, but if I'm sitting in his seat, I'd be glad that they're divided, because the whole idea of the coalition was to unseat him. Okay. And if the coalition is so divided, if the leadership strategy is so poor, if they claim to be the one who had the best, they have the best to offer, contrary to this president, and they don't have the ability to guide, to lead, to influence, to settle differences, conflict. They discovered forgery into their own documentations, and they are not able to have an in-house coalitional reconciliation, and they bring it to the public. It speaks volume. So for me, I think they're giving the Liberian people the chance. But to say what a government involvement, no. The government have put into place structure. The court is there. Okay. So they went to the court, they didn't go to the president. So they go to the court is the arbiter of these kind of issues. The court will make a decision. And I learned there has been a decision handed down, which is good, which I don't think the government in any way have anything to do with. But I tell you, Africa, when the government influences anything, it goes for that government. But any case that, most of the cases that happen, I see the government like, sometimes I wonder, why are they not winning cases? Why are they? So I tell you that they're not influencing the cases. They may have interest. They may want to know what's happening. But for what we see, I think the court is taking, so the church should just make sure that the rule of law is respected, human rights is respected, that the government is doing what the people say and what you say it will do. I think there should be the church role, but to take side as to who is right, who is wrong, it is the court that decides that ultimately. Okay. Yeah, which I think has happened. So I just tell the opposition, if you want to move the incumbent, first it's a difficult thing to move incumbent. Okay. Two, that means your house must be in order. Right. That means you should present to us, you should have convincing reason why we should not, the country should not give the president the second term. So I think they are on the game, but as we look at it, they got a lot to do. Okay. Yeah.